It says preparing to live stream the meeting. Setting up.
Oh, I can get the link from here.
And it says started streaming already.
Let me check the link. I have it ready.
It says preparing to live stream the meeting.
Oh, yes, we are live. Oh, I can get the link from here.
And it says started streaming already.
Let me check the link. I have it ready.
Is the copy streaming link right?
It says
Yep, it's the copy streaming link.
Okay.
Okay, whatever we say, they can hear now.
All right.
Trying to forget you. I'm all alone in a ghost town. It's a beautiful madness inside my soul, and I can't stop thinking of you. Walking on the lonely avenue. Are you? Are you? Are you? My love so wild. Please give me a sign. My love so wild. Please give me, baby. My love so wild. Please give me a sign. My love so wild. Please give me a sign.
Hey everyone, so just give us a few more seconds and then we will begin shortly. So for those of you who are just joining in, this will take about 20 to 25 minutes. We will introduce you a little bit about 42KL and a little bit about what the PScene and how our curriculum is structured with no teachers, no classes. And the best part, I guess, for you guys is no tuition fees at all. It's absolutely free. So we'll find out in just a bit. We'll wait for a few more individuals to join. We're also live streaming on YouTube, which is shared over on our Facebook page. So for those of you who are joining us on our social media channels, thanks. And please stay tuned for our session that will start in just 1 minute. All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to our 42KL introduction session. This is quite an exciting time because this is basically where we welcome you to our school, our new model of education. 42KL is obviously something that's quite exciting in the sense that it's free education, no teachers, no classes, and yet it has been a proven success. It's not just, a few people getting together and just doing basic coding. It's actually doing industry work. And we'll explain all about how this model works, how it actually started. But before we begin, I'd just like to remind for those of you who are joining us via Zoom, congrats on passing the online logic assessment tests. That means you already have somewhat of the basic fundamentals for you to learn some of the tools and projects that we have. And as we go on later on, you will learn a little bit more about the PScene, which is your next step, and also about the core curriculum as well. For those of you who are joining us on YouTube or on Facebook, thanks a lot. You've probably maybe have discovered 42 recently over some articles. So we would like to explain to you a little bit about 42, and from there on, hopefully you will be able to sign on, do the 2-hour logic assessment tests, and then you could take part in this session. So the message here is just welcome. Don't panic. I know a lot of you have a lot of questions, but we will go through each one of them as we go through this session as well. Now, let me just introduce the team first. So my name is Jeff, and I'm the head of Sunway FutureX Talent. And joining me today is Tila, who is our curriculum specialist, who's also dropped a message on the chat box. We also have Zeyi, who's our community curator, and she will be in charge later on explaining to you about the life of 42KL. And then we also have Eileen, who is our marketing specialist. So a lot of the stuff that you would have seen on social media would have came from the work both from Eileen and Zeyi together. Now, let's start with a little bit about 42. Some of you may know this. Some of you may have probably read a little bit about us as well, which is good because it means you are already curious. So 42 is not new. It has been around since 2013 in Paris. And then it started to expand. It started with Silicon Valley first as a test to see if the 42 model of learning with no teachers and no classes, will this work in sort of like, the haven for tech entrepreneurs and even software engineers, right? And that's Silicon Valley, and it proved to be a huge success over there, which then later on, as you can see in the map, it expanded all across the world. We currently have more than 30 campuses in more than 20 different countries. And we have about 10,000 students worldwide, which you will be part of the network. So you're not just doing this on your own, you're part of the 42 network as well. For 42KL, it is the first in Southeast Asia to have launched and done a PScene, and also have done the intake, the first intake. We have 75 students from the cohort itself. This is obviously part of the Sunway Future X Talent, which is part of the Sunway iLabs. We have taken up what used to be a duplex residence, a very Balinese style residence, which we've then converted it into a platform where we can then do 42KL. So it's a really beautiful space. Unfortunately right now, as we're going through MCO, we've switched everything to an online mode, which I will explain a little bit later about how the PScene, is being conducted at the moment. We've got about 150 brand new iMacs. And also, as you may know, Sunway Future X also has like its own farm. So within our own campus, you actually can see vegetables growing, all kinds of vegetables growing. And we have like a farm to table kind of restaurant downstairs, a cafe as well. So it's a really beautiful space, and a lot of green, which we all love, and will definitely help you, especially if you want to actually build some maybe IoT solutions in the agriculture space. We can definitely work along those sides. And also, you're very close to the Sunway Uni. It's about 5 minutes walk if you were to just use the canopy walk itself. I'm basically just going to show you some photos of how does 42KL look like, and this is obviously done I think about a month ago or so, with a variety of students who come from all walks of life. Ideally, if you were to sign up for the next PScene, which will happen in about 2 weeks time from now, it will be a hybrid model where some projects will be done virtually and some the exams will be done physically. So we will explain to you just a little bit more, but just to show you how it looks like. And some of the iMacs here, as you can see, are still covered because of social distancing, so they're still brand new, haven't been unboxed yet, right? They're still kept in their shades. So I'm going to pass it over to Zeyi now, who's going to explain to you a little bit about the process and where you are at the moment. And this is quite important because, we're not just looking for the student with, great curriculum scores, great coding skills. We're looking for individuals who share our vision and our mindset as well. Zeyi, over to you.
Thank you, Jeff. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. A very big congratulations to all of you for starting this adventure, which is to many, of our PSceners before you, it is a once in a lifetime experience. So things may look a bit complicated in the beginning, okay, but it is actually quite a well thought out process, and I'm just gonna guide you through it. Okay, so you have successfully completed step 1, registration, and step 2, which is the logic test, and you have found your way here to the virtual intro session, which is step 3. So we are now conducting our intro sessions virtually, of course, due to COVID-19, and MCO restrictions, but we hope that you will have a similar experience. And if you do have any questions at all, please feel free to just ask in the chat box. You can use the raise your hand feature as well. We'll also have a Q&A session at the end. So so if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Okay. After the intro session, with the validation link, which I'll be posting, you will be able to proceed to step 4, the PScene, which is going to be awesome. Okay, Tila will be explaining a little bit more about the PScene later. Okay, and after the PScene, we will take some time to run through the evaluations, and then we will then let you know who are selected to join 42KL's core program as a cadet, which is at the kickoff stage. All right, so if you fail the PScene, just to explain, if you fail the PScene, you can try again for one more time. Okay, you can take a total of 2 PScenes in your lifetime through the whole 42 network. Okay, and you will need to wait at least 300 days after trying the first PScene before you can try out the second time. So for example, if you've taken the PScene at 42KL and you failed once, you can try the PScene again at 42KL or any other 42 schools, 42 in Lisbon, in Paris, Silicon Valley. So you can try again one more time. Okay, so 300 days after your first try. So in total, 2 tries. Okay, so this goes for the whole 42 network. And finally, the last step is the kickoff. Okay, once you are selected to become a cadet, you will choose when exactly you're going to start your core program. Okay, and you will have to start the core program within 300 days after you are being selected. So again, to validate step 3, the introduction step, I will post the link later, okay, into the chat box right before we start our Q&A session. So please do stay on, until the very end, so that you can progress further. All right, next slide, please. All right, so let's go through with some of our principles here at 42KL. So of course, as you all would have known, peer-to-peer learning is at the heart of 42. So it removes the teacher in favor of collaborative learning between students. At 42, you will not only learn how to code, okay, but you will also learn how to learn. So through collaborations, you will seek knowledge from each other as well as share knowledge with each other. So of course, you will need to solve real problems as well and achieve goals together. So it's a very collaborative environment, and you will definitely develop teamwork and communication skills, which are equally important as coding, in the working life. So with peer-to-peer learning, there are also peer evaluations during which students will correct each other. Okay, so this educational technique is essential in the 42 curriculum. Through peer correction, students will actually learn by giving and receiving information, and you'll be able to adapt and progress rapidly. So peer evaluations are random and anonymous. Okay, it will happen offline. You will be showing your project to your peers, to your evaluators, and you will need to give your arguments and justifications on why you have done what you did. So bear in mind that evaluations are random. Okay, so your evaluators may not have done the same projects as well and may have no idea what the project is about. So you will need to really explain your work thoroughly so that they're able to understand it. And they will also evaluate you based on your explanation. So it's very simple. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. So by evaluating or being evaluated, you will be teaching and learning at the same time. So this is the beauty of peer evaluations. So moving on to the curriculum, it is an innovative gamified curriculum, which are project-based. So it just feels like you're playing a game. Okay, so you complete a level, you gain experience points, then you move up to another level. So your progress is monitored on the basis of experience points, okay, that you gain after completing a project within your curriculum. Each completed project will unlock the next one, okay, and each following project will become more and more complex and increasingly scored. And essentially your progress is measured in levels, just like in a computer game. So level 1, level 2, and most importantly, don't worry if you fail, okay? It is part of the process. Everyone will fail at some point of time. If you fail, try again and just keep trying, okay? Because essentially the program is very individualized, okay, where you learn at your own pace and you are in charge of your own progress. So students are given milestones and recommended deadlines, of course, but it is up to you to manage your own time in completing these projects. So it's a very game-based system where you can repeat each project like a level in a game. Okay, and the school is designed for a 3-year duration. Some people will progress faster, some people will progress slower, but in the end, it's the result that counts. No two paths are the same. all right? And this, it aims to build rigor and determination so that students will learn to be curious, be adaptable to situations, and to be confident. You will learn at your own pace. So we are open to any individuals, okay, as long as they are above 18 years old. But besides the ability to code and the ability to share knowledge, to teach, we are also looking for individuals who respect one another. So we want to create a diverse environment here at 42KL, and you will be a huge part of this inclusive community we are building. So we want to maintain a positive culture. Okay, so we will not tolerate any inappropriate behavior that does not fit into our culture here at 42. And another thing to point out is that we do not believe in stereotyping. Okay, coding is definitely not just a male thing. Women are equally able to learn and to be good at coding. So to be part of 42KL, you will need to understand our culture here. Okay, so we empower each other and we respect each other. Okay, so why it works. We believe that this model of peer-to-peer learning will be a huge success in Malaysia, okay, because we feel that education is expensive, especially when it's difficult to gain scholarships or grants. So at 42KL, we provide an environment for those who do not have the possibility to study, who don't seem to fit in the conventional education system, those who want to focus on coding, or even those who want to change their subject, and especially, to those who want to take their future, in their hands. Now, I'm going to pass over to my colleague, Tila. He will be running through with you about the curriculum. Over to you, Tila.
Hello, everyone. So this is Tila here. And if you look at my background, I'm actually at the building right now, just for this short period of time. So this is basically 42KL, just a tiny little bit of peek for you. Anyway, come back to the topic. So on the curriculum side, so the main thing that you really need to know is that the curriculum is very, very intriguing. It's very, very different. So all of you will actually start from the middle of this thing or diagram that is called the Holy Graph. So that middle point is a starting point. So I'm currently talking about the core program, which is after the PSIN. I'll talk more about the PSIN later on. So how does that actually work? So the core program has different levels. So it starts from level 1 up until level 7. So if you notice all the circles, everything that is inside the circle is what you will be starting at. So the difficulty progresses every single level. Now you will be learning multiple different content that is not limited to Unix, algorithm, network, system administration, graphics programming, object-oriented coding, and multiple different things, right? So the amount of different things that you will learn is there, but it's really up to you on how do you want to explore learning about the contents that are available in 42. So next. All right, so what's going to happen, right? So after you actually finish level 1 to level 7, that means you have completed the core program, but the final component of the core program is an industry placement. Now, industry placement here is not the same as any type of internship that typically you will go through in a university. The reason being is that for every one of these industry placements that every student is going to do, you are going to work on real projects with the industry. So you actually have support from multiple different anchor partners here. So for example, you have Sunway Group, CIMB, DHL, and all the names that are listed there who are right there waiting to actually absorb you in their company for an industry placement. And all of them communicate with us very clearly about what type of projects that they will be offering the students in terms of industry placement. But you might be thinking, so are we tied to these anchor partners? No, you are not. So you can actually come to us and say, hey, there is this reputable company that I actually want to take part in to be part of their intern. What can I actually do? So then we will facilitate and recommend you the next steps. So we do not tie you to any particular anchor partners. So if you're thinking, oh, so since this whole thing is free, how does it really work? Are we tied to those partners after we finish? No, it's not. It's really about your flexibility. You can do anything that you want. So which brings me to the next part. There are two choices that you can actually take after you finish your industry placement. So about 70% of students around the 42 network in the world tend to get hired immediately after the industry placement. And the next 30%, they come back to 42 and they are allowed to continue something called the specialized program. So the specialized program is where you really start looking into the depth of different sets of specializing of coding or programming or development, right? So if you look at the curriculum here, you're looking at things like algorithms, AI, object-oriented programming, again, in a bit more depth. So if you want to compare the level of difficulty, I would say that the core program is the level 1 to level 7 is about diploma to a degree level, whereas even masters, I would say. Whereas the specialization is between a master's to a PhD kind of a level. So that's the main difference of it. So the total level for the entire thing is 21 different levels. Now you've been probably wondering as well, now that I've completed all my studies, I've done my industry placement, what type of jobs and what type of career that I'm actually looking at. So the really amazing thing about 42 is that when you come on the day one itself, you'll be given this butterfly chart where all of the projects that you're doing on a daily basis are recorded, and you can get to see which ones are your expertise. For example, if you are very good in Unix development, so your chart will show you that you are very good at Unix development. Now, if you're someone who's very entrepreneurial, if you're someone who's very engaged in group activities and so on, so you get a different type of butterfly chart. So as shown in this example. So these are just some examples, but there are extreme number of possibilities. And all those really depend on you as a student. Now, the most exciting part, before you can actually get into the, what do you call the core program, you have to go through something called the piscine. So if you have been digging around on the internet, you probably would have found out that the word piscine stands for the French word swimming pool, right? So it's basically to say, when you come into 42 KL, we're going to go and throw you into a pool, and then we're going to observe whether you swim or sink. So those who swim will end up going through the core program. Now, what is this piscine all about, right? So just think of it like a military boot camp, but for coding. So it's about 4 weeks long, 7 days per week, a total about 26 days actually, not a complete 4 weeks long. So what we will do is that every intake or every cohort that we choose, we will carry out about 3 piscines to select the candidates. So every piscine, we will taking about 75 to 150 students. During the pandemic, we are looking at only about 60 to 75 students only. And what you're going to do in this piscine. So you're basically going to start learning how to code C from scratch. Now, some of you may have experience in coding before in other different languages, but when you come to 42, you're going to have to mostly unlearn a lot of things. In our previous piscine batch, we had some experienced coders who had to like scratch their heads and start thinking about, oh my God, this is not something that I've learned before. This is a bad habit. Now I need to change it and things like that. So it's a very good learning process for them. But if you are someone who has no experience at all in coding, come with an open mind, come with a blank canvas, and try to absorb like a sponge whatever that you can actually learn. So this is the time of your full year. Within that 26 days, I want you to be able to really absorb whatever that you actually can. Now, if you're thinking that it's going to be something that you want to do as a part-time thing for the piscine, I really would like to advise you to think twice about it. The reason is because you're going to have to spend about an average 6 to 8 hours or more. Our pisciners would say that some of them spend like 10 hours a day in order for them to get through the projects. So you have to find time and manage your time carefully. So we don't ask much from you, we just need your commitment. Now, how does it really work? So every single day when you come in, there's a lot of different kind of projects. So you can choose one project to work on in the very beginning of the first day. And then once you complete, there are multiple different other projects that becomes available to you. On a daily basis, these projects are available, but there are some fixed concerns as well. So on Friday, we have something called the exam. So these are not your typical exam that you take in a university. The reason is because these exams are 4 hours long, but you get instant feedback of whether you're right or wrong. So you're going to have to code in an environment that is without internet, without any references. You have to code whatever that you have learned on that particular week and try to answer the questions. Now, once you finish answering, you pass the level 1, you get level 2. You finish level 2, you get level 3. So it's very, very level oriented. And then you can stop the exam at any point that you want. Now, on the other hand, during weekends, we have something called rushes. So rushes are basically group projects where you are randomly assigned with about 3 to 4 different people, and you have to apply all the knowledge base that you have learned throughout the week to come up with a solution for a particular problem that we actually give, right? And the other amazing part, or the crazy part, is that we're going to have an 8-hour-long exams on the final day of your PSEAN. So this is basically where you really think about all the different things that you have learned throughout the 25 days and apply it and gauge your own level of knowledge. All right, so that's basically about the PSEAN. But before I go, I just want to let you know that if you feel that this is like very scary, and if you're afraid to take that step forward, I really say that we don't bite, we really don't. Even if you have complete zero knowledge of coding and you really think that coding is difficult, just come, just experience that learning process itself is going to change your mindset. All right, so I'll pass to Jeff to talk more about the PSEAN start dates.
Yeah, it's actually if they go on to our Facebook page or Instagram, you will find interviews from our students who will tell you that their first few days, they were really scared, really, had that complete loss of like no idea what's happening, wanted to give up, but yet, after they've persevered, after they've gone through that failing process within the first week, they've actually made it through. And now they are cadets in 42, right? Some of them came with zero coding background. And just like Tila mentioned, if you think you are an expert coder, trust us, this will be an environment where you will learn a lot about what the industry requires. Hence, it will sharpen whatever tools that you have, but will also, build the cognitive skills, which, why 42 is unique, right? So anyways, let's talk about the PSEAN start dates. We have an exciting news because you are part of the team that will be able to join for the 17th of May PSEAN. That will start, I think, about 2 Mondays from now. And this is our first ever hybrid PSEAN where, currently we are going through again with the rise of COVID. So we are doing it an online version, but for the exams, you will be allowed to travel to the campus. We will issue you letters where you can then get your permit and to come over to the campus as exams are allowed. Our space is about 10,000 square feet. So you wouldn't have to worry. There are strict SOPs in place. And all you have to do is just basically turn up to attend the exam. And right after the exam, you can head back home and continue on with your projects, with your team. All the discussions will be done via Discord. We have a very active community on Discord at the moment. We've got a few different Discord servers. And one of the cadet servers, they're actually currently organizing an esports tournament as well over the weekend. So it's going to be quite an exciting, engagement tool for you to be involved in. So all you have to do is to be able to register for the 17th of May is for, subscribe to, click on the validation link that Zoe will be providing to you later in the chat box section. You can also sign up for the 14th of June or the 26th of July PSEAN. Now, these 2 dates are not available yet in the application site because they will normally be announced about 2 or 3 weeks before the PSEAN starts to open. We're looking at about 75 students for this PSEAN at the moment because of the limitations due to COVID. And if it's full, you'll be on a waiting list. Now let's hear a little bit about from some of our former students. I'll play you one video who is currently a cadet actually, but this was an interview that we did with him during his PCN, and he was doing it all online, just totally online. Even the exams was done online as well. So let's hear what he had to say about his experience, and then we will go through the validation link where you can then click on that link, sign up, register for the PCN, and then Q&A session. So if you've got any questions, you can drop them into the chat box as well.
Hi, my name is Gates. I'm 25 and I am a medical graduate, and I'm currently doing the 42KL PCN. So before joining 42KL, I was basically in limbo. I wasn't really doing anything. The lockdown due to COVID didn't really help either. So I was just doing some things here and there, wasn't really sure what direction I was going to go in until somebody sent me a link to 42KL and I decided, why not check this out? Yeah. And I've always been interested in programming and coding. I just never really found the chance to do it. But after I graduated, I decided, I should try it now. So I did some online studies, some free online courses. And then, like I said, somebody sent me a link to 42KL and I decided, why not just try it out? And here I am now. If I want to compare it to medical school, it's quite rigorous, but at the same time, it's good because you get to practice and see results right as you are going through the PCN, rather than, let's say you compare it to just studying. You want to know a topic and you will just study and study over and over again until you get to your head, but you're not sure whether you can actually apply that knowledge properly. While in the PCN, you're basically studying by yourself and with your peers, exchanging information, but at the same time, you can basically just test whatever you've learned on the spot. Whenever I get faced with a problem, it's like, oh, I need to solve this. And if I finish it and the answer is not what I'm expecting, I immediately feel like, oh, I need to change this to get the answer I want. And after I do it over like several times, and eventually if I get the output that I want, it's just a really great feeling to solve problems. Yeah.
So that was Gates Tan, who's currently a cadet in 42KL. We've got a lot more videos that is available on our Facebook page and also on Instagram. So, I would highly recommend you to, give us a follow, give us a like, and check out some of those videos. We've got the May PCNers uploaded as well, where they did it physically and they talked about their journey, and there's some clips and insights into the current campus as well. So I really highly recommend you. It's a free education platform. The only thing we require is your time. And if you can't join the PCN at the moment, help us to spread the word around with like-minded people as we're looking to build a vibrant community. Now let's go on to the validation link. So my colleague Zeyi will be posting up in the chat box for those who are currently joining us on Zoom. For those of you who are joining us on our YouTube channel or on Facebook, you will have to, fill up the application form that is available on the 42kl.edu.my website, sit for the online assessment tests, and then you will be able to register yourself for one of these Zoom sessions. For those of you who are watching it on Zoom, my colleague has just posted this link. You need to copy this link and paste it into your browser, and it will open up the platform where you can sign in back to your account, and then it will ask you for your basic information. From there, it will then show you some of the available PCN dates, which is the 17th of May. We highly recommend you to sign up for that, especially if you have the time to do this. At the moment, the situation is so uncertain, in the sense that we have no idea, can everyone go back to their day-to-day life? So why not take this opportunity to upskill yourself, reskill yourself, even if you're not keen to take on the 1-year curriculum, the 12 months core program. If you're not keen to do that, doing the PCIN will help you tremendously. We've had individuals who even gone through the entire PCIN and did not make it through, but came and said to us like, I love the PCIN so much, I actually want to do it again. It's like not often you will hear someone who's done an 8-hour exam, spent over 260 hours to 300 hours over the 4 weeks, and then say like, I want to do this again. It is exciting because if you love solving puzzles, if you love a lot of the gamified systems, then 42 will be for you, because the entire environment has been built to grow some of the cognitive skills, and you will realize that you will be coding nearly 100% of the time. Let us know if there are any problems with the validation link that Zahi has posted in the chat box. For those of you who are watching on Zoom, this is necessary for you to keep your account validated for at least 300 days. Even if you don't want to join the PCIN yet, and you maybe think I will probably make some time, maybe in June or July, you will need to still click on this validation link. If not, you will probably have to do this session all over again. Just a reminder for those of you who are watching on YouTube and on Facebook, we do have only 2 more PCINs after the 17th of May, which is June and July, as the dates were shared earlier. Beyond that, we may not have any more PCINs, as we will be focusing on the core program, the 12 months program. So this is your time to quickly register, go online. It's a 2-hour online logic assessment test. And from there, we will be able to do a session with you. On Monday, we have another introduction session where it will be done privately within our own community for those who've passed. So make sure you do that right now over the weekend, over the next couple of hours, or on Saturday and Sunday. What do you have to do when you're staying at home? Maybe make some time and put in some effort into doing this. For those of you on Zoom, if there are any issues, let us know. If it's all good, just give us it's a link is all good, thank you so much kind of thing, messages on our chat box, so that we know that everything is working well. It will just ask you for some details about your personal details, just so that we have access to be able to email you and drop you information as we go along in the journey as well. So, and with that, it is time for our Q&A session. If any of you have any questions, please drop us a comment or the question in the chat box, whether it is on Zoom or it's on Facebook. We will be able to pick this up, and then we will answer some of your questions. Obviously, we will focus more on the questions that we have from our Zoom audience, because you are the ones who've actually done the online logic assessment. So it is important that we address any questions that you may have, because chances are we will see you very soon in our campus or doing the hybrid version of the PCIN. So anyone with any questions? If there are no questions, we will still remain here for a few more minutes. Most importantly, again, the validation link. Let us know if you have any issues with the validation link. Spencer says, can you repeat again the weekly exam on Friday? So yes, so for the PCIN, every Friday there will be an exam. And that is basically the only thing that you will need to focus on a Friday. The first 3 Fridays are a 4-hour long exam. Usually it will start at 2 p.m. and it will end at 6 p.m. And then on the last day of your PCIN, the 26th day, which is a Friday, because the PCIN starts on Monday, on the last Friday, you will be doing an 8-hour long exam where it will start at 2 p.m. and it will end at, It's like 8 p.m. if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. Yeah. So, what will happen during this time is that you will be going through all your projects that you've done from day one itself. So it's a refresher, but with slightly different nuances in the stuff that you've done before. And you will be able to then, test your ability in terms of memorizing what you've done before, how you've actually done certain projects, and then try to solve the puzzles as you go about. You will be able to then get your results instantly, where you you can then progress up to level 2, level 3, level 4, and up all the way to your score to 100. If, let's say, during the PCIN exam, maybe the first exam, after 1 hour, you feel like you can't do any more projects, you have, faced the roadblock, you submit, it tells you failed, please try again, and then you submit again. It's like, sorry, that was the wrong answer, try again. And you realize, I can't do it anymore, I just want to quit. You can just stop the exam at any point of time, and then you have to just leave the campus, go back to your space, and then continue on your daily projects. There are no penalties. We don't sort of do a penalty for those who failed, or torture anyone who failed. None whatsoever. If you fail, just simply try again during the exam. And if you fail your daily projects, just try again. There are no sort of deadlines. There are, as long as we want you to be comfortable with the idea of just giving it a try. And that's the whole idea of the PCIN as well. Just give it a try. So hopefully that answers some of the questions that you have for the exam. 4 hours for the first 3 Fridays, 8 hours for the last exam. And it's a design like a computer game where it is based on levels. And as you can reach, the boss level, and if you defeat that boss, you get 100. So then you get a score, and then you can leave whenever it's done.
Hi, Jeff. Jason here has a question as well. He has asked, it's stated in his account that he doesn't reach the age requirement, and the system states that I will be able to continue the process on May 28th. He's born on in 2003, by the way. So do I get to automatically join the June or July PCIN, or I have to join another intro session again?
So for you, I think Jason, right, is his name?
Yes, correct, Jason.
Right. So Jason, I would advise you to just drop us an email. It is community@42kl.edu.my. And just drop us an email stating that you were one of the students who registered but don't meet the age requirements, and you would like to join the June PCIN. What will happen is we will assist you, and whenever it's eligible, we will then be able to elevate your status and activate your account. Chances are you will not probably have to do this session, but we will need to just speak to you privately in terms of how we can onboard you for the June PCIN. So to be clear, it is not necessary to take the exam on a Friday, because the exams on Friday is a compulsory. If you don't take the exam, you just basically fail, right? So you will need to take the exam. You can fail the exams, but we would like you to at least come and attend the exam. You have to take the exams. That's important, especially for the final exam. The exam is basically an assessment of how you've done throughout the week. That's why it's every Friday. If you have classes every Friday from 2:30 p.m. to 7 p.m., chances are it will then clash. But I think we have some students who, because it's online classes, they kind of just leave their computer at the side of them, and then some of them even is just providing PDFs from their current education platform, and then they try to do the exam. I would still suggest you maybe to talk to your school and see how are they conducting your classes. And maybe find a way that you can fit. Ideally, you will need to spend about 100% of your time in the PCIN. It's really difficult to do 2 things at once, because there are 2 different sort of learning methods, and we don't want you to be, struggling with adapting to both. So find a proper time when you are clearly free to be able to do. The exam is really important. Azahan is asking, so how do I learn? I'm a slow learner, so some heads up would be nice. How do you learn is basically with your peers. Every day, as Tila mentioned, there will be projects that will be provided to you with the insights and the platform that we will register you. You will see some of the daily projects. Each of these daily projects will have about 8 or 9 different exercises where it will ask you to submit different things or different sort of items. How do you then progress about this is, one, you can do a Google search. You can start reading about it. There are some videos that 42 has already designed that you can watch and you can learn the basics. And then you can go about and figure a way of how you can apply some of the learnings that you've figured online. And chances are you will find it, a struggle because it's completely new to you. That's where you have to then work in a group, work with your peers, ask around of different individuals. Why this is important is because we want to build the cognitive skills. You can learn coding from any different platforms, whether it's just an online course, whether it's a free one, it's a paid one. You can go and apply for a diploma or a degree in computer science. There will be lecturers and tutors that will assist you and give you a hands-on guidance. But at the end of the day, the one thing that you will miss out is the ability to share your knowledge, work as a group, the cognitive skills where you look at a problem and you immediately say, I want to solve this. 42 does that because we generally don't handhold you. We don't spoon food you with information. We don't handhold you in terms of this is how you actually should do things. We just want you to do it. And when you fail, chances are you will. When you fail, you will then learn, because then you will need to find out how do you actually do this from your peers. And that's where you start learning. Probably it applies to your day-to-day life as well, right? You generally would do things better once you've done something, once you've done a mistake in your life before. You will always remember the mistakes. So that's how we apply it in a curriculum in 42 as well. So Azhan, I would advise you to look at 42KL as a way of, it can sharpen the way that you learning how to learn. That's the key that we try to mention in 42KL. And don't worry if you feel, oh, this is very scary and stuff. Go and watch some of our videos on our Facebook page. You will notice that you are, on the same boat as every other pisciner who joined 42KL. Before they, when they were doing the session, everyone had the same kind of fear. Not sure if this is going to be, can they cope for this and stuff? They can, because you are in the right environment to do so. Do we have any more questions? I hope the link, the validation link is fine. It'll be good for you, all of you, to make sure that you've done your validation. And then if you are free, make sure you subscribe to the 17th of May PScene. Now, for those of you who are watching on Facebook and on YouTube, thank you so much. Please remember, sign up on apply.42kl.edu.my. If you want to learn more about what we do, Facebook page, Instagram page, LinkedIn, there's a few articles as well. And once you've done the online logic assessment test, it will take about 2 hours. I highly recommend you to do this during the weekend. Allocate some time. And once you've done that, immediately register for an intro session, and then we will be able to provide you with the validation link, which then will have an access where you can sign up for the PScene. And remember, all this is for free. There is no model like 42KL where provides everything for free, from your IMAX, from the tutorials, from the videos, from the exercises, from everything that you learn, all the way up to actually getting a job. Everything is for free. You don't have to pay a single cent for this, right? And there's no, hidden fees. There is no sort of catch to it, none whatsoever. This is basically our way of trying to give back to the society, trying to build a nation-building project together, with Sunway iLab, Sunway Education Group, and of course with MDEC as well, right? So we're looking at finding ways to actually provide education to more individuals, because we know that it's very difficult to actually gain education for the industry at the moment, because it is very expensive. So 42 can be your stepping stone. Before you even probably decide coding might be your thing. So then you can choose whether you want to actually do the employment offer, you want to go do a specialization, or you even want to go and get a degree or a PhD in computer science, right? That's entirely possible as well.
So one of our viewers in YouTube has asked, For the hybrid mode, will PCners stay on Discord call for 7 to 10 hours?
No. That will be crazy, right? If you were to actually stay on a Discord call for 7 to 10 hours. No, nothing like that. So what will happen is that you will be on a Discord server with different rooms, with different chat rooms, different audio rooms. We will provide you with some of the sessions where it's compulsory, whether it's some activities, some games, some sessions where we will do a town hall session, asking everyone to get together and figure out about, how are they feeling. Those are the only compulsory ones, which happen maybe, twice in a week for about half an hour or so. But beyond that, it's you work with your peers, you find an ideal time to work. There are chat groups that you can then work on. If you and your peer decide to, let's jump on a video call and maybe share screen and figure a way of how to solve this puzzle, you can do that. It is at your own leisure, at your own time, as long as you try to do your best to complete the project. So you don't have to spend that 7 to 10 hours on the Discord, audio call for that, duration. Everyone will be really tired and drowned. That's not the way, right? So it's a fine balance. Log in, do a couple of hours, and then, maybe take a half an hour break, go and have your meals, maybe do a little bit of indoor workouts, come back in, spend another 3-4 hours, take a break, have your dinner, relax a little bit, play some games, watch some Netflix, and then maybe towards the night, do another couple of hours. Generally, that's the flow of things, as we notice. In the physical PC, actually, they were doing a lot of ping pong. We had a ping pong table. So they will come in at 10 o'clock, they will do a couple of hours, they'll have lunch, they'll play ping pong, they'll come back into the campus at 4 o'clock, do their projects up until 9 and 10, and then they'll go back home, have their dinner and stuff. So it's a similar model. The conversations will happen, communications and conversations will happen on Discord. All right, if there are no other further questions from our YouTube and Facebook, I will stop the stream. I will, however, remain the call for our Zoom audience if they have any more questions. So again, thank you so much for those who are joining us on Facebook and YouTube. We really do hope to see you finishing up the online logic assessment and then signing up for our intro session and hopefully signing up for our May PCN, the hybrid PCN model as well, right? We're really excited to actually launch that. It will be the first in the entire 42 network. We've applied learnings from our purely online PCN. We've applied learnings from our purely physical PCN. Now we're combining the best of both worlds. And hopefully, that will be able to give you the exact same experience if both PCNs had already felt. So we're truly excited. And what better way to actually join the PCN when we have some cadets who will be taking part to sort of be like your mentor or your guide during this journey and sort of see if you can swim for the 26 days as well. So for those of you on Facebook and YouTube, thank you so much. I will stop the stream and I hope to see you guys very soon. Take care and have a very good weekend, and all the best for the logic assessment.